America's obsessing about it. Well, psychologist Susan Quillam joins me now. Very interesting that Ben might have got cold feet. It might just all have been too much for him, the big mad diva lifestyle and all the hoopla. And he's thought, ugh, I don't actually really want any part of this. Do you think there might be something in that?
I think there might be something in that. We can't be sure. This could all be a smokescreen. But if he has called it off, or if in fact she, having seen her psychic, has called it off, then it wouldn't be unusual and it's quite expected. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on them. She has a bit of a history. He has pressure from friends. Who knows what's happened in the last few days, Lorraine?
No, it's been very, very strange, hasn't it? It's been very odd. But a lot of it, I have to say, is brought on by themselves. They seem to, you know, they're the ones who, they did those interviews, as Jackie was talking about, with all these, you know, leading American ladies. They've been on the shows. They do flaunt the relationship. They made movies together. Yeah. He was in her video. It's all kind of, it's a bit much for them to sort of say, oh, press intrusion, press pressure, when actually they've courted it.
Absolutely, and of course any pressure on a couple at this time in a relationship when they're building up to make a big commitment is going to make things a bit wobbly. It just might have been all too much for them. They might have looked ahead and thought, do I really want to be with this person in 5 years' time or 10 years' time? And thought, no, actually, I don't.
Because it is a crazy world. I mean, I remember talking to Jennifer Lopez last year, and there is a hoopla around about her all the time. You know, she was actually very nice, I have to say, and beautiful. But the people around her, nightmare, absolute nightmare. And he's got to sort of go into that world, I would think.
That's right, and with all that pressure, how are they going to have the honeymoon row or the post-honeymoon row or even the pre-honeymoon row and sort things out between them in the way that every married couple does? How are they going to get things sorted when everything they do is being watched, not only by the press, but by their own people?
The interesting thing, though, is that they have worked together. There is another movie, I believe, that they've done, which by all accounts isn't very good. So there still will be a relationship of sorts, albeit professional. You know, when they come to promote this film, if they so wish to do, there'll still be ties, you know.
That's going to be very, very difficult. It's like anybody, you know, all the viewers out there who have had a relationship with somebody in the office. It's terrible, you know, you go in the morning and you're looking across at your loved one, or rather, your ex-loved one. So if it is all off, and if they have got to still work together, I feel very sorry for them.
No, for sure, because Hollywood is a tiny town, as they tell us. I mean, I don't know from personal experience. It's a tiny town, and people will, you know, you will bang into them now and again, so it'll be quite difficult for them. So do you reckon that'll be it?
I think there's a good chance that'll be it. Either that, as I say, or they're having a big smokescreen. If it is, then the next few weeks are going to be very, very difficult for them.
For sure. Susan, thank you very much indeed. Thanks. Now, yesterday, do you remember on the show, we talked about how the controversial drug Ritalin can help hyperactive children?
It was almost instantaneous, really. He went from being this child that was sort of off the wall to a child who was suddenly conforming and quiet, and I would ask him to do something and he would do it, and there wasn't a problem with him.
Well, that was yesterday, and since then we have had so many calls, hundreds of calls from viewers both for and against taking Ritalin. GMTV viewer Angela Revell emailed straight...
But in a normal wash,